What's going on, everybody? I love the beginning of my vlogs because I'm waiting for the camera. You can see like my eyes twitching over. Like I said, I am going to get this voice back at some point. Right now I'm going to talk about something that kind of is a challenge, right, to my everyday existence. My son Cole Capadegli is 13 years old. He turned 13 last month on January 22nd. He's an absolutely incredible individual, incredibly smart. He's never not got an A before. He has a ton of common sense. Absolutely one of the nicest, kindest human beings you'll ever meet in your life. And and he has a daily struggle that a lot of people don't. When he was 2 years ago on March 10th of 2018, he was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, which is much different than type 2 diabetes, something that people get confused very easily. Cole cannot just stop eating carbs and food like that, and it doesn't just get better. There is no cure for his disease, but but it's very manageable, and you can live for a long time. It does cause a lot of, things that come with type 1 diabetes are and the high blood sugars and the low blood sugars. Hyperglycemia for the low blood sugars is the immediate danger, when they drop in the 40s and 30s, and then we're giving them candy or juices or icing or whatever, because you're literally at the point where they could die. These are things we deal with every day. It's weird to put them in bed at night and know, you need to check on him and have your alarm set in that to make sure that he's okay, and it's interesting to see him at 13 years old and how he deals with it, right? And how he understands what's going on with it, but he also understands that, that what it takes to make it right. So he handles it incredibly well. He is an absolute trooper. I never hear him complain about it. I never hear him get sympathy about it. He just crushes through school. I do think it has weakened his immune system some, And the thing with type 1 diabetes is it's just so hard on your body. When those blood sugars are high and we can't get them down, it's basically just roasting his organs, slowly over time, like a slow cook. And so that's really why you're trying to balance those blood sugars and keep them from being low for the immediate danger and high for long term. There's also so many other things that can go wrong with your heart and your extremities and different things with having type 1 for so long. But they're making great progress, and like I said, his attitude and how his mother and I, Mary Costello, or Mary Brewer now, she's married now to a great guy. We're great friends, and I couldn't imagine, fighting this battle with anybody else to take care of Cole. The reason I'm bringing this up today is Cole's sick today. It's been his fourth day. He's got a really bad cold. Kids get sick, kids get colds. The problem is when you have diabetes, it messes everything else up too, right? So it messes up his blood sugars, and then we have to worry about ketones and ketoacidosis, and not in the way people who get on diets and go into ketoacidosis. If Cole gets into ketoacidosis, he can die. I'm not even sure if I'm saying that word right, but I think I am. That's what he was when we took him to the emergency room on March 10th of 18. That was the bigger concern, was actually the ketoacidosis as opposed to the actual diagnosis of diabetes. It took us months to figure out what was going on with Cole. He was going through, for the first time in his life, he was having a hard time sleeping. He was feeling scared. He was feeling like he wasn't fitting in with people. He was feeling like he was getting picked on, and none of those things were really going on. It was so crazy to watch his mind like deteriorate, right? And we had been to doctors over and over again and couldn't figure out what's going on. So until we get in the hospital, the lady bent over, was like, "Hey, Cole," she's putting the bracelet on him at Children's. And she's looks up at me because she must have caught the smell of the ketones off the breath. And she was like, "Has anybody checked his blood sugar?" And I was like, "Nobody's checked anything." I was like, I don't know what to do. That's why we're here. I'm like, this isn't right. I know he's not right. He's not breathing right. He's not eating. He's dwindling away to nothing. He had lost 25 pounds. He's 11 years old. Something isn't right here. And so she's like, "All right, I need to get somebody to take his blood sugar." They went in, they pricked his finger. It was 450. I'll never forget that moment in my life. I will never, ever forget that moment in my life. And, and he kind of had some familiarity with it and realized that it was high. So anyway, so that was kind of how we got diagnosed. Actually, when we get into JDR, I'll talk about more, but just on the normal everyday, we're sitting there, and I feel so bad for him when he's sick because he's got all these other things. You know, we got to prick him with this pump. We got to put his CGM in, which is so much better than when we used to do finger pricks and shots. I mean, we used to do shots, 4 to 6, 7, 8 times a day, pricking his finger 8 times a day, and that's on a minimum. And that was incredibly hard to adjust to. So anyway, Cole's sick today, and it's hard to stay positive. I've been fighting this thing for the last few weeks. I'm trying to stay positive. Would love to hear positivity from people out there. I haven't been able to work out the last couple of days because of this chest cold. I'll definitely be back tomorrow, even if I just got to do a light workout. I'm heading to Vegas this weekend. That's another reason I wanted to just make sure I was well rested this weekend. Going to see a longtime friend, Ambrose Schulte. I'm really excited about that. If everybody could just always keep Cole in your prayers. He's a great individual, and he kicks ass every day, and it doesn't stop him from doing anything. But, there's always that concern, and it's hard. And what I realized is I didn't even realize this. It started to affect, like, my personal relationships, right? Like, I start off really positive when he gets sick. And, I think, we're going to get it. And if we beat it, like, boom, right? But when we get to day 4 and 5, like, it starts to wear on me. And I don't even realize that it wears on, like, my personality or my actions or maybe how I feel, or maybe I start to isolate myself. Now that I'm recognizing that, I feel like it's easier to pull myself out. And like I said, even doing this vlog is a way to communicate, maybe those things on how I feel or what I'm feeling. So anyway, I love everybody. I would love to get any prayers for Cole Jackson. And if anybody else, if you're feeling like shit or you're having a bad day and you're just trying to be more positive, and, you get up, you get at them, and, you can't control what happens to you, but you sure as hell can control how you react to what happens to you. So I love Cole more than anything in the world, and I hope he gets better today, and I'll talk to you all later. Love you.